Hi, I'm Todd Henderson. Today we're going to install the Iron Cross sidearm steps on this 2017 full-size GM pickup truck. Now, this has got the gasoline engine. This particular fitment will go all the way back to 2001, but on the older trucks, some of those are going to install just a little bit differently. Let's go ahead and get started. All right, so this is the driver's side. We're going to do the exact same thing on the passenger side, but these are all our 4 brackets. The first 3 brackets are exactly the same. The last bracket is a mirror image of the other 3. Okay, so we're starting on the driver's side. We're right behind the front tire. If we look at our rocker panel, we move back along that rocker panel. We're going to find a threaded hole from the factory in that rocker panel. Directly underneath that, we've got our pinch weld, and this spot actually has a hole in the pinch weld in this tab. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this clip nut, we're going to slide it over top of that hole. That gives us threads above the pinch weld right there. Now we can take our front bracket for the driver's side, and we're going to hold it up in place. This hole lines up here, and this hole will line up to the bottom of the pinch weld. We're going to take a supplied bolt with lock washer and flat washer, go through the top hole, and then just get it started for right now. Once those threads have caught, we're also going to take another supplied bolt, lock washer, and flat washer, go up through and tie into the threads that we just installed above the pinch weld. We're going to put all that stuff in hand tight first, and then we're going to tighten it down with a 13mm socket. All right, now we're going to go back along our rocker panel to the second location. You've got a threaded hole up at the top, and then in your pinch weld you have an opening, a hole in the pinch weld here. Again, we're going to install this the exact same way as the first bracket. We're going to slide our clip nut into place. All right, and we're just installing this one the exact same way as the last bracket. All right, if we move along our rocker panel, we're going to come to our third bracket location. Now, this location, you're going to have a hole with no threads in it inside the rocker panel, right next to a larger hole. Now, that larger hole might be covered up by a grommet. If it is, pull that grommet out of the way. We're going to take one of our clip nuts. We're going to slide it in place through the larger hole and line up our threads behind the smaller hole. And then do the same thing with our hole in the pinch weld. We're going to put the threads on top of the pinch weld, line our clip nut in place, and that will snap into place just like so. And now we can resume just like we did our last bracket. Now we're going to go ahead and move back to the very back of the cab in the rocker panel. Again, we're going to have a hole with no threads in it next to a hole that's larger. That might, again, be covered up by a plug. If it is, pop it out. Directly below this hole is another hole in the pinch weld. Both of those need to have clip nuts in them. So just like the last bracket, we're going to install the clip nuts in place. And go ahead and install that just like our last bracket. All right, now on some crew cab models, the face of this bracket might not be at the right angle. If that is the case, what you want to do is install this spacer in between the bracket and your rocker panel. All right, next we've got our bracket clamp. That is going to lock into this position right here, so you got a couple of tabs that are sticking out. We're also going to have a carriage bolt in our kit. That carriage bolt is going to fit up through that square hole and make sure it locks into that square hole. Then we are going to fit it into the bracket. We're going to take a provided washer and a flange nut. It's a serrated flange nut. We're just going to get that serrated flange nut started. Then we're going to pull out on that and turn to the side. Now we're going to do that to all of our brackets. All right, now what we're going to do is we're going to lift our running board up to the brackets. Now the running board has an open channel. What that open channel is going to do is going to go around all of our bracket clamps that we just installed and going to hang on those bracket clamps. Next what we're going to do is we're going to reach inside and turn those bracket clamps 90 degrees where they line back up, and what that does is actually clamps that board to the bracket. We're going to do that for each bracket. Just turn that channel, that clamp, tighten it down, make sure the bottom of the board is lined up to the bottom of the bracket, then tighten it down with a 1/2 inch socket. Well, that concludes the installation. If you have any questions, call the experts. We're here to help you out.